The clothes Bryn Bowman wore had never weighed so much. Of course, she'd never chosen her saggiest jeans, her oldest cowgirl boots, or a canvas jacket that should have been retired years ago to meet anyone before. But Tanner Wolfe had insisted she make the 6-hour drive to the small Texas town of Three Rivers to pick him up and drive him out to some ranch where some cowhand worked, some ranch Tanner believed held the key to his calf-roping future. She pulled into the gas station on the northern edge of town, her defenses on high as she coasted to a stop next to Tanner himself. She left the engine idling as she got out and stretched her back, already aware of the murderous winds and cool early December temperatures. Tanner scanned her like she carried a contagious disease. "I told you to wear something nice." "I heard you," Bryn said as she studied the horizon, where a storm threatened. She pinned him with her most spiteful glare. "I just don't care about what you said." His dark eyes turned hard as coal, a look he usually wore for someone else. She had tried a relationship with Tanner a few years back, and that had ended almost before it began. Fun and fast, the broken relationship had left Bryn's fragile ego in pieces. She'd been picking them up since, going out with a few men here and there, but each date seemed forced, with cowboys who could only talk about one thing: rodeo. Bryn wanted someone, anyone but a cowboy. Someone who could see she was more than a champion barrel racer, someone who knew a woman had more to her than a title, if she could even get them to notice she was a woman at all. Tanner sighed, the fight leaving his expression as he yanked open the passenger door of her truck. "I'm surprised this old beast made it down here." She'd brought her father's truck, half hoping it would break down on the interstate somewhere in southern Colorado. Then she wouldn't have to be Tanner's errand girl. Why she'd said she'd help him, she wasn't sure. Oh, yes, she was. As she slid into the driver's seat and buckled up, she remembered why she'd driven almost 400 miles. Whoever lived out at Three Rivers Ranch would be better than Tanner inviting her ex-fiancé to be his calf-roping partner. She hadn't backed down in that argument, and her payment was to help Tanner find a suitable header who could train in time for the start of the rodeo season. "You remember what to say?" She snorted as she accelerated along the 2-lane road. "You practically gave me a script. Say this, don't say that." She lifted her hand and faced her palm toward him when he opened his mouth to speak. "I got it." "I could just call Date." "Don't you dare," she hissed. "I'll get this guy to agree. What's his name again?" "Ethan," Tanner said, his voice on the outer edge of frustration. "And I don't know how you're going to convince anyone that joining the rodeo circuit is a good thing." He reached over and slid his finger down her leg like he could collect a bunch of dust from her faded jeans. "Ethan likes pretty women." Great, she thought. Another shallow cowboy. Just what Bryn needed. She'd been raised by a single father who couldn't breathe if he wasn't in a stable, along with 2 older brothers who trained horses 24/7. Becoming a barrel racer had been in her blood, and she couldn't deny that any more than she could force herself to stop breathing. But after her mama had died a decade ago, Bryn craved the company of someone who didn't wear a cowboy hat, didn't know which brand of boots were best for bull riding, didn't care who currently held the top spot for the Extreme Bulls Riding Championship. In her circles, someone like that didn't exist. As Bryn made the turn from highway to dirt road, she considered, again, quitting the rodeo altogether. She wondered what her father would say then. She pulled into a nice parking lot in front of a newer building and swung her attention to Tanner. "Okay, so where is he?"
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.